If you want to achieve your goals in a chill, lazy girl way, I am going to show you right now. This is a Stanford scientist tip. He wrote a whole book about this. I'm going to talk you through it, and I'm also going to talk about how I use this tip in my everyday life. And spoiler alert, it actually is so helpful. So let's get into it. Welcome to the channel. This channel is all about making self-improvement and mindset and growth practical and tangible. I think a lot of self-improvement content is too conceptual and abstract, so it's all about tips, tricks, hacks. I have a psychology research background as well as a project management background, so using all of that to make self-improvement accessible and fun. So let's get into it. So the tip in its essence is about lowering the bar so low, like literally millimeter above the floor low, that even on your worst days you would be able to achieve your goal. And I think that this is really counterintuitive because usually we'd be like, oh, like, we have to raise the bar super high, go for that North Star. But no, I think like when you're trying to build a habit, it's actually consistency is more important than quality or like how extreme that goal is. It's about doing it every single day, or like obviously depending on the habit is, maybe it's like a weekly habit or something like that. I'm first going to give a couple actually, why not here? I'll go into this theory first. So a couple things that this does, and I will also talk about specifically who the researcher is who talks about this at Stanford and whatnot, but it reduces decision fatigue. So basically, instead of like, oh, should I go do it or should I not, even when your day was so full, you had like the roughest day ever, it reduces the decision fatigue because you know you're going to do it. You know you can do it. Even like if it's a dumpster fire in your life right now, you will be able to do it. So it reduces that decision fatigue of will I do it or will I not do it. Secondly, it helps you bypass perfectionism because a lot of times if you are being a perfectionist, maybe if you miss a day, you will fall off the wagon, and then it takes a while for you to get back on the wagon. Furthermore, if the habit has like a higher bar, a higher standard that you need to achieve in order to have done the habit, then that perfectionism, that like high level of quality that you need to strive for in order to be able to say like, oh, I did it, that is obviously, that's not conducive to actually achieving that habit over a longer period of time, because it's just hard to reach that level of quality when obviously life is going to get in the way. And when life gets in the way, if you have a lower bar to reach, it's a lot easier to reach it. Thirdly, it creates identity-based momentum. I am someone who shows up. So it really goes to show that as you continue to do it and do it and do it every single day, even when it is difficult, it shows you that I am somebody that shows up. And when you do that, you gain momentum, friction decreases, and it actually becomes a lot easier to keep doing it. One caveat that I will add to this is that it's important to note that like even if the bar is low, that doesn't mean you can't go beyond it. So that's the beautiful thing I find, and I'm going to go through a couple personal examples in a moment, that I will go and do the habit even when I was like super tired or having, maybe it was a rough day, because I know that the bar is so low that it's like going to be really quick, and I feel like, okay, that's doable, I can do that. But then once I'm actually doing it, I might end up doing it for 10 or 15 minutes. Like maybe I go beyond what the bar was, but because the bar was low, I did it, and otherwise I wouldn't have. So going through a couple personal examples. Primal movement, I've talked about this before. I do like 10 to 15 minutes of movement every night. But in order to check that off my list of like habits, I allow myself to literally do one stretch. So if I'm like really like, it's really late, it was a really long day, doing one stretch, like not even timed, like literally just one stretch for like, I'd say like literally 20 to 30 seconds, I will count that. And oftentimes when I'm doing the movement, I'm like kind of like, oh, okay, no, like this is good. I'm like, it's going well. And then, I'll end up doing it for longer. But because that bar is so low, it's really hard not to actually keep the habit going, which is awesome. Another one is like uploading on YouTube. Like I'm gonna make it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Even if that means maybe the quality is low or like I'm uploading at a weird time, that was a habit that I kept to myself because I wanted to prove myself that I could stick to that, stick to 4 videos a week. When it comes to running, I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, I don't have time to do like a 5K or whatever it is, so I'm not going to end up running. I have definitely been in that habit before, but now even if I don't have time before work, I say that I want to go on a run, I will literally be okay with running for 10 minutes because 10 minutes is still better than 0 minutes. It still gets you out, it still gets you moving, it gets your heart pumping, even if it's 10 minutes. So I think that is something as well. Like everybody's just like the trope of like the 5K. You can do like 5 minutes of running. You can do 10 minutes of running. You can do like 2 minutes of running. It's better than nothing. Shutdown routine. I've talked about shutdown routines after work as well. And for me, part of my shutdown routine is like getting some fresh air. And for me, like I set the bar so low that I'm okay if I open my door, step outside, and then literally turn around and go right back inside. So 1 step outside is okay, like for my routine. And I still think that allows me to actually continue to do it. It's still some fresh air. And hey, once you're out there, it's very easy to just, go on a short walk or something. But if the bar wasn't so low, maybe I wouldn't achieve it consistently. So more about the actual theory. So I don't know what the hell he is doing right here. Like this is so random, but I mean, kudos. This looks so hard to do. But anyway, his name is B.J. Foggs. He wrote a book about it, I believe, but it's basically a framework and there are 3 parts of it. But this video, I'm kind of focusing on the tiny behavior portion. But it's basically that you scale the habit down to something that's almost too easy to fail at. So for example, say you wanted to do push-ups, it'd be like doing 1 push-up. Kind of like what I was saying with my personal example with the primal movement. And so like motivation is unreliable. Behavior design is the focus. So it's about working that into your systems, into your routines. The other parts of his framework include the anchor moments. You're anchoring it to something that you do already, like brushing your teeth. Then the part that I'm like really elaborating on is making it like the most simple, low bar, lazy way of doing something as possible so that it's super easy to achieve. And then another part of his framework is the instant celebration to spike dopamine and kind of like pat yourself on the back so that it reinforces you to want to continue to do it over and over again. So yeah, that is his full framework, but specifically I think that the tiny behavior is really key. I use this in a lot of the habits that I want to build, especially when I am, when I am, maybe it's something that I know that I might have trouble with or might have trouble sticking to. So hopefully this helps you. So whatever you want to do, what is the laziest, most low bar way that you can do it, and maybe start doing it like that. And hopefully over time, you're going to find that it becomes really easy to work it in your routine and you may start to go above and beyond without really noticing.